If you want more, you have to become more. This isn't just a quote, it's the key to unlocking everything you've ever wanted in life. It's the simple truth that most people overlook because they're too busy waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect circumstances. But the reality is, the moment you start working on becoming more, everything around you will start to change. You see, life isn't about hoping for the best or waiting for luck to fall into your lap. Life is about growth. The person you are today cannot take you to the place you want to be tomorrow. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll start seeing results. This video is for those who are tired of feeling stuck, of wondering why success feels out of reach. If you're ready to take control of your life, to stop waiting for change and start becoming the person who creates it, then you're in the right place. What I'm about to share with you isn't fluff. It's not some motivational speech to get you pumped for a day. This is about real, actionable steps that will transform who you are and, in turn, transform your life. So, if you're serious about leveling up and unlocking your full potential, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to become the kind of person who attracts the success, the opportunities, and the life you deserve. Let's dive in and get started. Number one, discipline is the key to becoming more. Discipline is the key. It's the one thing that separates those who succeed from those who spend their lives wondering why nothing ever changes. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's the ability to control your actions, to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. That's what makes the difference. That's what creates success. The truth is, most people don't have a success problem. They have a discipline problem. They know what they need to do. They know what's required to get in shape, to build a business, to improve their finances, to develop better relationships. It's not a mystery. The problem is, they don't do it. They wait for motivation. They wait until they feel like it. But feelings are unreliable. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere. Successful people aren't more motivated than you. They aren't waking up every morning feeling like they can conquer the world. They have the same doubts, the same fears, the same moments of laziness, but they act anyway. It's pushing through when your mind is telling you to quit. It's following the plan no matter how tired you are. It's staying consistent even when the results don't come right away. There's a reason why most people don't have the life they want. It's because discipline is hard. It's much easier to take the comfortable path. It's much easier to say, I'll do it tomorrow. It's much easier to give yourself excuses. But every time you take the easy way out, you get weaker. Every time you skip a workout, every time you procrastinate on your goals, every time you choose comfort over growth, you make it harder to succeed. And then one day you wake up and wonder why your life looks the same as it did last year. No progress, no real change, just more excuses. But it doesn't have to be that way, because here's the truth. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. There are two types of pain in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline is hard, but it's temporary. The struggle, the discomfort, the sacrifices, it's all temporary. But regret, that pain doesn't go away, it stays with you. It follows you. It reminds you of the chances you didn't take, the work you didn't do, the dreams you let slip away. And if you don't want to wake up one day filled with regret, then you need to choose discipline now. You need to stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop hoping for an easier way. There is no easier way. There is no shortcut. There is no secret formula. It all comes down to one thing, doing the work every single day. But here's the good news. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you push yourself to do the right thing, even when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening that muscle. And over time, discipline becomes a habit. It becomes part of who you are. And when that happens, success becomes inevitable. You want to change your life? Then start by controlling your actions. Stop letting your feelings dictate your choices. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. Because here's the reality. Everything you want, more success, more opportunities, more growth, it all starts with who you are. And who you are is defined by what you do every single day. If you want more, you have to become more, and the only way to become more is through discipline. So decide right now, are you going to be the person who lets excuses run their life, or are you going to be the person who does what needs to be done no matter what? Because that decision will determine everything. Your future, your success, your happiness, it all comes down to whether or not you have the discipline to do what's necessary. And if you can commit to that, if you can push through the hard days, if you can stay consistent even when you don't feel like it, then nothing can stop you. Nothing. Because discipline is the key that unlocks everything you've ever wanted. But you have to use it. You have to apply it. And you have to do it now. Number 2, if you want more, stop complaining and start improving. Most people spend their lives complaining about their job, complaining about their finances, complaining about how unfair life is. But here's the truth. Complaining doesn't change anything. Complaining doesn't make you richer. It doesn't make you healthier, and it sure doesn't get you any closer to success. If anything, it keeps you stuck, because every minute you spend complaining is a minute you're not improving. The world doesn't reward complaints, it rewards action. It rewards the person who looks at their situation and says, okay, this isn't where I want to be, but what can I do about it? That's the mindset that changes lives. That's the thinking that leads to success. Because the people who succeed in life, they don't sit around blaming their circumstance. They take control, they figure it out, they work on themselves. If you're not where you want to be, there's only one reason. It's not your boss, it's not the economy, it's not bad luck, it's you. And I know that might be hard to hear, but it's the truth. And if you're willing to accept that, if you're willing to take responsibility, then you're already ahead of most people. Because the moment you stop blaming everything else, the moment you stop making excuses, you take back control. The reason most people don't change is because it's easier to complain than to improve. It's easier to say, I'm broke because the economy is bad, than to say, I need to develop new skills to earn more. It's easier to say, I'm not in shape because I don't have time, than to say, I need to manage my schedule better. It's easier to say, I don't have opportunities, than to say, I need to create my own. But easy doesn't lead to success. Growth does. And growth requires effort. Improving yourself isn't always easy, but it's the only way to get what you want. If you want more money, become more valuable, learn new skills, get better at what you do. If you want more respect, build stronger character, become someone worth respecting. If you want more success, work harder, work smarter, study success, learn from those who've already done it. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you earn. Think about this for a second. If someone took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everyone, in a short time the wealthy would be wealthy again and the broke would be broke again. Why? Because money follows value. Success follows growth. The people who have more are the ones who became more. They developed their mindset. They built discipline. They took responsibility. They worked on themselves every single day. So if you're waiting for life to change, if you're waiting for things to magically get better, stop waiting. Stop hoping that things will improve on their own. They won't. The only thing that can change your life is you. And the only way to change your life is to change yourself. Start small if you have to, but start. If your finances are a mess, learn about money. Read books. Take courses. Stop spending on things you don't need and start investing in things that will help you grow. If you're out of shape, stop making excuses. Start moving. Walk, run, go to the gym, do something. If your mindset is negative, start feeding your mind with better information. Read, listen, learn. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Because here's what's going to happen. The moment you stop complaining and start improving, everything in your life will begin to change. You'll start attracting better opportunities. You'll start seeing possibilities you never noticed before. You'll gain confidence, momentum, and before you know it, you'll be in a completely different place. Not because luck was on your side, not because someone gave you a break, but because you took responsibility. You did the work. There are two types of people in this world, those who complain and those who improve. One group stays stuck, the other moves forward. And the difference between the two isn't intelligence. It isn't background. It isn't luck. It's mindset. One group believes life happens to them. The other believes they create their life. Which one are you going to be? The choice is yours. But remember this, nothing changes until you do. So if you want more, don't wait. Don't wish. Don't complain. Improve. Because the moment you decide to get better, everything else will follow. Number 3, success isn't given, it's earned through growth. Success isn't something you wake up to one morning. It doesn't just land in your lap. It's not a gift, it's not luck, and it's not something someone else can hand you. Success is something you earn. It's something you work for, something you fight for, something you grow into. And the truth is, if you want more success in your life, you have to become the kind of person who deserves it. Look around at the people who are successful. Really look. They didn't just get there because they wished for it. They didn't just hope things would work out. No, they put in the work. They studied, they learned, they grew. They faced obstacles, they struggled, they failed, but they kept going. They didn't wait for success to find them. They went out and built it. That's how life works. You don't get what you want, you get what you deserve based on the person you become. You can't demand success without putting in the effort to grow into someone who can handle it. That's why so many people struggle. They want the rewards without the growth. They want the money, the respect, the opportunities, but they don't want to do the work required to earn those things. Success isn't about what you want. It's about what you're willing to do. It's about what you're willing to change, what you're willing to sacrifice, and how much you're willing to grow. The people who succeed aren't the ones who just talk about it. They don't just sit around dreaming of a better life. They wake up early, they put in the hours, they develop new skills, they sharpen their mindset, and they push through challenges. They take full responsibility for their progress. The truth is, most people aren't willing to do what success requires. They say they want it, but when it comes time to put in the effort, they back off. They let distractions pull them away. They let self-doubt stop them. They let fear keep them small. And then they look at others who are succeeding and think, why not me? But the answer is simple. It's because they haven't put in the work to become someone who can handle success. Growth is the price of success. If you're not growing, you're staying the same. And if you're staying the same, you're falling behind. Because the world is always moving forward. New skills are being developed, new knowledge is being discovered, and new opportunities are being created. If you're not growing, you're missing out. You're getting left behind. So if you want more out of life, if you want more success, more opportunities, more income, more happiness, the question isn't, how do I get those things? The question is, who do I need to become to deserve those things? Because success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming the right person. Think about this. If you were handed $1 million today, but you hadn't developed the mindset, the discipline, and the knowledge to manage it, how long would you keep it? A year? 6 months? Maybe even less? That's why most lottery winners go broke. They receive success, but they never earned it through growth. And because they didn't grow into the kind of person who could handle that success, they lost it just as quickly. But if you take someone who has built themselves up, who has spent years developing skills, who has faced failure and learned from it, and you take away all their success, guess what? They'll get it back. They'll rebuild it. Why? Because they've grown into someone who understands how to create success. They've built the habits, the discipline, and the knowledge required to achieve and maintain success. So the lesson is simple. If you want success, stop looking for shortcuts. Stop hoping someone will hand it to you. Stop waiting for luck. Instead, start building yourself. Start growing. Start developing the mindset, the work ethic, the skills, and the habits that will make success inevitable. Growth isn't always easy. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it means failing. Sometimes it means facing hard truths about yourself. But that's part of the process. That's the price you pay for success. Because success isn't about what you get. It's about who you become in the process. The moment you commit to growth, your whole life changes. You start thinking differently. You start making better decisions. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You surround yourself with better influences, and before you know it, you're not the same person anymore. You're stronger, you're sharper, you're more capable. And because you've grown into a better version of yourself, success follows naturally. If you want more out of life, the answer is simple. Earn it. Work for it. Grow into it. Because success isn't given, it's earned. And it's earned through growth. Number 4, your life is a mirror. It shows who you are. Your life right now is a reflection of who you are. Not who you say you are, not who you hope to be, not who you pretend to be when others are watching. Life doesn't respond to wishes, and it doesn't react to words. It mirrors action. It mirrors discipline. It mirrors the choices you make every single day. That's why if you want to change your life, you don't start with luck. You don't start with hoping things get better. You start with changing yourself. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe that life is unfair, that success is about connections or luck or some advantage they weren't given. But if you look closely, you'll see the truth. The people who succeed aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most talented. They are the ones who take responsibility for their life. They don't blame circumstances. They don't point fingers. They understand that the results they get are a reflection of their daily habits, their mindset, their attitude, and their work ethic. Look at your life right now, your relationships, your finances, your health, your happiness. It's all a reflection of you. If you're struggling financially, it's not because money is unfair. It's because you haven't developed the habits and knowledge to control it. If your relationships are full of conflict, it's not because the world is against you. It's because you haven't developed the communication skills, patience, and understanding to nurture strong relationships. If you're not in the best shape physically, it's not because life is unfair. It's because your daily habits don't align with the health you want. Life mirrors back exactly what you put in. And that's good news, because it means if you don't like what you see, you have the power to change it. The mirror doesn't lie, but it also doesn't lock you in place. It simply reflects what's real. And if you change what's real, your habits, your actions, your mindset, the mirror will reflect something different. That's how life works. You don't have to wish for better results. You don't have to beg for things to change. You just have to do the work to become someone new, and life will reflect that right back to you. Most people ignore the mirror. They complain about their circumstances. They blame the economy. They say things like it's just the way things are. But nothing is set in stone. If your life isn't where you want it to be, that's life's way of showing you what needs to change. That's feedback. That's information. And that's power. Because now you know exactly what needs to be fixed. Success isn't about luck. It's about alignment. If you want better results, you have to align your actions with those results. You can't wish for wealth while living with poor money habits. You can't wish for a strong body while eating junk and skipping workouts. You can't wish for happiness while surrounding yourself with negativity. Your life is a direct reflection of what you consistently do. But here's what most people do. They look at their life, they don't like what they see, and instead of changing themselves, they try to change the mirror. They blame other people. They wait for something external to change. But the mirror only changes when you do. Look at the most successful people in any area of life. They weren't given a better mirror. They simply worked on themselves until their life reflected what they wanted. They read books, they developed discipline, they took risks, they worked on their mindset, and they grew. And because they grew, their results changed. So, if you don't like what you see, stop waiting, stop blaming, stop expecting life to change without you changing first. Start building better habits, start making better decisions. Start taking action, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient. Because that's the only way the reflection in the mirror changes. It won't happen overnight. Growth takes time. But if you stay consistent, if you keep improving, if you refuse to settle for less than you're capable of, one day you'll look in that mirror and you'll see someone completely different. You'll see strength where there used to be weakness. You'll see confidence where there used to be doubt. You'll see success where there used to be struggle. And that's when you realize life was never holding you back. It was simply waiting for you to become the person who deserves more. Number 5, hard work pays off, but smart growth pays more. Working hard is necessary. There's no way around it. You can't expect to sit back and watch success fall into your lap. Life doesn't work that way. If you want something, you have to be willing to put in the effort. But here's the mistake most people make. They think hard work alone is enough. They push themselves, they grind, they wake up early and go to bed late, but they never stop to ask themselves, am I working hard in the right way? because effort without direction is wasted energy. There are people out there right now working 16-hour days and still struggling financially. People who never take a day off but still feel stuck. People who are exhausted, drained, and frustrated because no matter how hard they work, nothing seems to change. And that's because hard work by itself isn't the answer. You have to work smart. You have to grow in the right way. Because it's not just about how much effort you put in. It's about whether that effort is moving you forward. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Some people stay busy all day, running around, checking things off their list, filling every hour with activity. But when you look at their results, nothing is really happening. No progress, no real movement, just exhaustion. And that's because they're spending their time on things that don't actually push them closer to where they want to be. Think about it. You could spend years working in a job that never pays you what you're worth. You could hustle every day in a business that's not built to grow. You could put all your energy into tasks that don't actually improve your skills or position you for better opportunities. And that's what separates those who succeed from those who just stay busy. Successful people don't just work hard, they work smart. They focus on growth. They make sure that every hour they spend is an investment, not just an obligation. If you want to get ahead, you have to ask yourself, what am I actually building here? Because if all you're doing is working to survive, you're never going to escape the cycle. You need to work in a way that compounds over time. That means learning new skills. That means networking with the right people. That means creating things that provide long-term value. That means thinking bigger than just your next paycheck or your next deadline. The smartest people in the world know that time is their most valuable asset. They don't waste it doing things that won't matter 5 years from now. They make sure that every step they take is leading them somewhere. And you have to do the same. So take a step back and evaluate where your effort is going. Are you just running in place? Or are you actually making progress? Are you learning? Are you improving? Are you putting yourself in a position where your work will eventually pay off in a big way? Because if all you're doing is working hard just to stay in the same place, you're missing the point. Growth isn't about grinding yourself into the ground. It's about building something sustainable. It's about creating systems that allow your effort to multiply. It's about making sure that the work you do today is setting you up for an even better future. Because success isn't just about effort. It's about strategy. It's about understanding that smart work beats hard work every time. So don't just work, grow. Don't just push yourself, position yourself. Don't just grind, learn, adapt, and make sure that every ounce of effort you put in is moving you towards something greater. Because that's the difference between people who work their entire lives and never see real success and those who build a life they're proud of. Hard work pays off, but smart growth pays more. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can start building a future that's actually worth the effort you're putting in. Number 6, you don't need permission to improve your life. It's so easy to fall into the trap of waiting. Waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to tell you it's time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to come around. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to start. The best time to improve your life is right now. Imagine this. Every day you spend waiting is a day you'll never get back. Every minute you sit on the sidelines, hoping for permission, is a moment you're not making progress. But here's the secret. You don't need permission. You don't need anyone's approval to start moving forward with your life. You don't need someone to tell you that now is the right time to take action. You already know when it's time. The moment you decide to take control, you've already set the wheels in motion. We live in a world where it seems like everyone is waiting for someone else to give them the green light. Whether it's in your job, your relationships, your health, or your finances, we sometimes think we need someone else to approve of our next step. Maybe you're waiting for a boss to tell you that you deserve a raise, or a family member to say you're doing a good job, or some expert to validate that your dreams are worth pursuing. The problem with this way of thinking is that it puts all of your power in someone else's hands. It lets someone else control your destiny. But the moment you take your power back, everything changes. The truth is, nobody can give you permission to improve your life. You can't wait for others to approve of your progress or to give you the okay to start making moves. It's your life. It's your decision. Only you have the authority to make the changes you need to make. The world is full of people waiting for permission to succeed. They wait for someone to recognize their potential. They wait for approval to take the next step. They wait for the perfect opportunity to present itself. But here's the thing, waiting doesn't get you anywhere. It only keeps you stuck. The reality is, success doesn't come from waiting. It comes from taking action. It comes from deciding that you're ready, whether or not anyone else thinks you are. Too often, people hold themselves back because they're afraid of stepping out without permission. They're afraid of what others might think. They're afraid of being judged. But you know what? The judgment of others is irrelevant to your journey. It doesn't matter whether or not someone else believes in your vision. It doesn't matter if they think you're ready or not. What matters is that you believe in yourself. What matters is that you're willing to take the leap, even if no one is cheering you on from the sidelines. You don't need permission to start that business. You don't need permission to go back to school. You don't need permission to take your health seriously or to pursue the relationships that will bring you joy. You don't need anyone's approval to make your life better. The power to transform your future is already within you. Here's the kicker. The more you wait for permission, the less likely it is that you'll ever get it. People don't hand out permission slips to chase your dreams. They don't give you permission to make changes in your life. They may not even believe in you, and that's okay. The only person you need permission from is yourself. The moment you give yourself permission to grow, you unlock your potential. You free yourself from the chains of doubt and fear, and you step into your greatness. You become unstoppable. So stop looking for approval. Stop waiting for someone else to give you the go-ahead. Give yourself permission to improve your life, and watch how everything shifts. Let's face it, we all have the power to change. We all have the ability to grow, to learn, to evolve into the person we were always meant to be. But too many people allow their circumstances or the opinions of others to keep them from taking that first step. They get stuck in a cycle of waiting and doubting, and before they know it, years have passed, and they're still in the same place they started. But imagine if you decided right now to stop waiting. What if you decided that today is the day you take control? What if you stopped letting fear or doubt keep you in the same place and instead started moving forward? The results would be incredible. You would start to see change. You would start to feel different. You would start to notice opportunities where there once were none. You are capable of more than you realize, but it all starts with you deciding that you don't need permission to improve. You don't need anyone else to tell you that you're worthy of success, happiness, or growth. You are worthy simply because you exist. And when you decide to own that truth, when you decide to step up and make those changes, you'll see the world respond in ways you never thought possible. Think about it. What's holding you back right now? What's that one thing you've been waiting for permission to do? Is it starting a new project? Is it changing careers? Is it leaving a relationship that no longer serves you? Whatever it is, stop waiting. You don't need permission. You already have everything you need inside of you to make it happen. Take a moment and reflect on how you've been living up until now. Have you been waiting for someone else to make the call? Have you been sitting around hoping for someone to give you the green light? If you have, it's time to change. It's time to take the reins. The moment you decide that you don't need permission, you're free to create the life you want. You're free to build the future you deserve. There's no need to wait for validation. There's no need to wait for someone to tell you it's okay to start. You don't need anyone else to give you the thumbs up. You've got everything you need to start making moves right now. It's all in your hands. Give yourself permission to improve your life and watch how everything else falls into place. Now is the time. The clock is ticking. And every second that goes by is a second you'll never get back. You don't need permission to change. You don't need anyone's approval to move forward. All you need is the courage to take that first step and the belief that you are worthy of a better life. So go ahead. Take that step. Make that change. You don't need anyone's permission. The only permission you need is your own. Number 7, if you keep avoiding challenges, you'll stay the same. We all have this incredible potential within us, but if we keep avoiding challenges, we will never unlock it. The truth is, every time you shy away from a challenge, you are choosing to stay exactly where you are. You're choosing to stay comfortable, and comfort is the silent killer of growth. If you want to be more, if you want to do more, you have to start facing challenges head on. They're not obstacles standing in your way. They are the very things that will help you grow into the person you need to become. It's so easy to get caught up in the idea that life should be smooth, that things should always feel effortless. But the reality is, nothing great comes without struggle. No matter how successful someone is, no matter how much they've achieved, they've faced their own battles, their own challenges. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people don't avoid challenges, they embrace them. Every time you run from a challenge, you're running from the opportunity to grow. Think about the last time you faced something difficult. What did you do? Did you push through or did you look for an escape? It's natural to want to avoid discomfort. We all want to feel good, to be at ease, to relax. But the best version of yourself isn't built in the moments of comfort. It's built when you push through, when you rise to the occasion, when you tackle the hard stuff. You become stronger, smarter, and more capable when you choose to face challenges, not when you avoid them. It's easy to believe that avoiding challenges means you're protecting yourself. That if you stay in your comfort zone, you won't fail, you won't get hurt, you won't risk anything. But here's the truth. By staying comfortable, by avoiding the challenges, you're robbing yourself of growth. You're robbing yourself of the ability to achieve more. You're holding yourself back from the life you could have. You see, challenges don't just test you, they transform you. When you face them, you learn, you get better, you become more. And when you avoid them, you stay stuck in the same place, living the same day over and over again. I know it's easy to think, I'll tackle that challenge tomorrow, or I'm not ready for this yet. But here's the reality. Tomorrow never comes, and you will never feel 100% ready. Waiting for the perfect moment to take on a challenge is just another form of procrastination. And the more you put things off, the more difficult it becomes to take action. It's a cycle that keeps you from progressing. The only way to break free from that cycle is to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start embracing the uncomfortable now. Challenges will never be convenient. They will never fit neatly into your schedule. But that's what makes them so valuable. The discomfort you feel is simply your growth being stretched. The harder it feels, the more you're being pushed toward the person you need to become. There's another thing to remember. Challenges never go away. They don't disappear just because you ignore them. The problems you avoid today will be bigger problems tomorrow. They'll accumulate, and one day they will demand your attention, whether you're ready for them or not. Wouldn't you rather deal with them now, when they're smaller and more manageable, instead of waiting until they've grown into something far more overwhelming? Look at successful people in any field, whether it's business, sports, or entertainment. What do they all have in common? They all faced challenges, and they all chose to tackle them. They didn't wait for a perfect scenario, and they didn't avoid the hard stuff. They understood that challenges were necessary stepping stones on the road to success. The same is true for you. If you keep running away from challenges, you will stay exactly where you are, living the same life, having the same results. But if you embrace them, if you take them on with everything you've got, you will grow, and so will your results. You may feel like you're not ready, like you don't have what it takes. But trust me, the only way to build the strength you need is through the challenges you face. The only way to become the person capable of achieving more is by stepping up to the plate, even when it feels overwhelming. You were not made to stay in one place. You were made to grow, to evolve, to push beyond what you think is possible. But you can't do that by staying comfortable. You can't do that by avoiding the hard things. Think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed that when you face something difficult, it feels like everything is working against you at first? It feels like you're being pulled in every direction, like the odds are stacked against you. But over time, you learn how to handle the pressure. You figure things out, you find strength you didn't know you had, and you look back and realize how far you've come. That's the power of challenges. They don't just test your abilities, they expand them. When you challenge yourself, when you push yourself to do things you've never done before, you stretch your limits. You force yourself to rise to the occasion. And when you rise to the occasion, you build confidence, you build resilience, you build the mindset of someone who knows they can handle whatever comes their way. And that mindset is everything. It's the difference between success and failure, the difference between staying where you are and moving forward. But it's all about your choices. The more you choose to avoid challenges, the more you choose to stay in the same place, the more you choose comfort, the more you delay your progress. Every time you tell yourself, I can't handle this, you're holding yourself back. Every time you avoid the challenge, you're staying exactly where you are. But every time you step up, every time you face a challenge head on, you're moving closer to where you want to be. You're becoming more, and that's what really matters. So the next time you face a challenge, whether it's big or small, remember this. It's not there to stop you, it's there to help you grow. If you avoid it, you'll stay the same. But if you face it, if you embrace it, you'll transform. The challenge isn't the enemy, it's your greatest ally. It's your ticket to a better, stronger, more successful version of yourself. And that's exactly who you're capable of becoming. But it starts with making the choice to stop avoiding the hard stuff and instead start facing it with confidence, with courage, and with the knowledge that every challenge is an opportunity to become more. Number 8, the right people come when you become the right person. You've heard it before, but I'll say it again. The right people will show up when you become the right person. It's not just about waiting for the perfect opportunity or hoping that the right people will somehow magically appear in your life. No, it's about you doing the work on yourself, becoming the person who attracts the right relationships, the right connections, the right opportunities. Because when you elevate yourself, the world around you starts to change, and the people who belong in your life start to find their way to you. Look at it this way. Everything in life is a reflection. The people around you, the opportunities you encounter, the circumstances you face, all of these things are in one way or another reflections of who you are right now. If you're surrounded by negativity, if you're struggling to find like-minded individuals, if you feel like the right people just aren't showing up for you, then it's time to take a good hard look at yourself and ask, am I the right person to attract the kind of people I want in my life? Let me be clear about this. The right people won't come into your life because you simply wish for them. They come when you are ready for them, when you've become someone worthy of the relationships you desire. It's like a magnet. You can't attract quality people by being stuck in a place of negativity, laziness, or complacency. You need to evolve into a person who is constantly striving for more, who is driven, who works on themselves every single day. When you do that, you start drawing in people who are on the same path as you, people who are just as committed to growing, succeeding, and living with purpose. Think about the people you admire the most, the people who inspire you, who you look up to. What makes them different? What qualities do they have that you find so magnetic? Chances are, they are people who have put in the work to become the best versions of themselves. They don't settle for mediocrity. They are passionate, driven, and constantly striving to improve. And because they are like this, they attract other people who are just as motivated, just as ambitious, and just as focused on becoming better. When you begin focusing on becoming a better version of yourself, your mindset changes. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start developing a level of self-respect and confidence that makes you a magnet for the right people, the kind of people who are positive, who support you, who challenge you to be better, and who understand the value of hard work and growth. But it all starts with you. If you want to attract those kinds of people, you first have to embody the qualities that make those people want to be around you. It's not just about your skills, your achievements, or your social media following. It's about the inner qualities you possess, your character, your integrity, your work ethic, the way you treat others, your ability to listen and learn. People are drawn to others who are constantly growing, who challenge themselves to be better, and who show up for others. When you become the right person, the universe has a way of aligning itself with your growth, and suddenly, the people who resonate with that energy start appearing in your life. This isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of becoming intentional about the kind of person you want to be, and then taking deliberate action to get there. When you focus on personal growth, you don't just become better for yourself, you become better for others too. The relationships you have become more meaningful, your connections deepen, and you begin to attract people who elevate you, who add value to your life, and who encourage you to keep moving forward. Let's also talk about the impact this has on your environment. When you become the right person, you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Your energy changes, your mindset shifts, and that positive change begins to influence the people in your circle. People want to be around those who are striving for greatness. People want to work with, collaborate with, and be friends with those who inspire them, who are constantly pushing the envelope. When you start showing up with that kind of energy, you'll see that the right people start gravitating toward you. You won't have to chase them down or beg for their attention. They'll be drawn to you naturally. And here's something crucial to remember. It's not just about attracting the people you want. It's also about pushing away the people who don't align with your journey. When you begin to level up, when you start working on yourself and making strides in your personal development, the people who aren't on the same path may start to fall away. And that's okay. It's actually a good thing, because not everyone you meet is meant to stay in your life forever. You have to make room for the right people, and sometimes that means letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. Now, let me tell you something that's often overlooked in this process. It's easy to think that in order to attract the right people, you need to be perfect. You think you have to have it all together, you need to have all the answers, or that you need to be an expert in everything. But that's not true. People are drawn to authenticity. They're drawn to people who are real, who are willing to show their imperfections and still strive to improve. You don't have to be perfect to attract the right people. You just have to be willing to grow, to work on yourself, and to show up as your true self. When you embrace this mindset, when you stop pretending to be something you're not and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally attract people who are drawn to that authenticity. They want to be around people who are real, who are open about their struggles and their growth, and who are always looking for ways to improve. So here's the truth. If you want to bring the right people into your life, focus on becoming the right person first. Stop waiting for someone to come into your life and change everything for you. Take control of your own growth, and you will see that the right relationships, the right opportunities, and the right people will begin to show up. It's all about alignment. When you align yourself with the person you are becoming, the universe aligns with you, and everything else falls into place. Your relationships are a direct reflection of who you are. If you're not attracting the right people, it's not because they don't exist. It's because you haven't fully become the person who can attract them yet. But when you start doing the work, when you focus on your own growth and development, you'll find that the right people come naturally. You'll begin building a network of people who support you, inspire you, and challenge you to be better. And that's when the magic really happens. Number 9, the world rewards those who improve themselves. The world rewards those who improve themselves. It doesn't matter where you start from or what you've been through. What truly matters is the journey of self-improvement, and it's a journey that the world respects, values, and rewards in ways that often surprise us. Too many people go through life feeling stuck, like they're waiting for a breakthrough or an opportunity to come out of nowhere. They think that success is something that's handed to them, something they have to wait for. But let me tell you, nothing comes to you unless you've earned it. And the way you earn it is by improving yourself every single day. It's easy to look around and see people who seem to have everything handed to them, people with money, status, and connections, and wonder how they got there. But the truth is, those people didn't get there by luck. They got there by consistently working on themselves, by investing in their own growth, and by doing the hard work that most people aren't willing to do. They understand that the world doesn't reward you because you wish for things or because you complain about what you don't have. The world rewards you because you are taking steps to improve, to grow, and to become the kind of person who can handle success when it comes your way. Let me be clear. This isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. The world doesn't expect you to be perfect, but it does expect you to keep moving forward. It expects you to take responsibility for your life, to learn, to grow, and to push through the challenges. And when you do that, when you start making an effort to become a better version of yourself, the rewards will come, and they'll come in ways you never expected. Improving yourself isn't just about gaining skills or knowledge. It's about developing a mindset that sets you up for success. The world doesn't reward people who stay stuck in their comfort zones, who refuse to grow or learn from their experiences. The world rewards those who take action, who seek to improve, and who constantly strive for greatness. And when you do that, the world opens up to you. Opportunities begin to appear. People start noticing you. Doors begin to open. You see, when you work on yourself, when you're committed to self-improvement, the world can't help but notice. People are drawn to those who are constantly improving, who are always learning and growing. People want to be around those who are ambitious, driven, and focused on their goals. And it's not just about the tangible rewards like money or status. It's about the respect, the admiration, and the sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing that you are doing your best to become the best version of yourself. The world respects effort. It rewards those who are relentless in their pursuit of improvement, and it appreciates people who take ownership of their lives and their future. Look at any successful person, and you'll find that they didn't get to where they are by sitting around waiting for opportunities to come knocking. They got to where they are because they were constantly improving. They were constantly learning, growing, and developing their skills, both professionally and personally. And when you're in that constant state of growth, it doesn't matter what's happening around you or what challenges you face. The world will reward your efforts. It might not happen overnight, and it might not always look the way you expect, but the reward will come, and it will be worth every ounce of effort you put in. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't moving as fast as you'd like. It's easy to get frustrated when you don't see immediate results. But that's where most people give up. They stop improving, they stop growing, and they give in to the temptation to settle. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the willingness to keep going, even when it feels like progress is slow or invisible. It's the person who shows up every day, who puts in the work even when they don't feel like it, who chooses to improve every single day, no matter what. That person will always be rewarded, because the world doesn't reward complacency or stagnation. It rewards the person who is relentlessly working to improve, who keeps moving forward, and who keeps striving for more. Now, don't get me wrong, there will be setbacks along the way. There will be moments when you feel like you're not getting anywhere. But that's part of the process. The world doesn't reward you because you've never faced a challenge. It rewards you because you keep pushing through the challenges, because you don't let the setbacks define you. Every failure is a lesson. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. And when you learn from those lessons, when you rise above the challenges, the world takes notice. People take notice. And that's when the rewards start coming in. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone's success story and they talked about the struggles they faced to get to where they are? How many times have you heard someone say that it wasn't an easy road, that they had to fight for every inch of progress they made? But despite all the challenges, despite all the obstacles, they kept improving, they kept moving forward, and that's what made all the difference. That's why they're successful today. They didn't give up when things got tough. They didn't stop improving just because the road was hard. They kept going, and eventually the rewards came. This is the mindset that you need to adopt if you want the world to reward you. You need to be committed to self-improvement, not just in the easy moments, but especially in the difficult ones, because that's where the true growth happens. When you face challenges, when you feel like giving up, but you keep going anyway, that's when the real rewards begin to show up. And here's the best part. The rewards don't just come in the form of material wealth. Sure, money and success may follow, but the true rewards come in the form of personal fulfillment, inner peace, and the satisfaction that comes from knowing you've given your best effort. When you improve yourself, when you make the effort to grow, you create a life that is filled with meaning, purpose, and opportunities that you never would have thought possible before. And that's the ultimate reward. The ability to live a life that you're proud of, a life that you know is the result of your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. So don't wait for the world to hand you something. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to improve. Take control of your life, commit to self-improvement, and the world will reward you in ways that you can't even imagine right now. When you put in the work, when you consistently strive to become better, you'll find that the rewards you've been waiting for were always right there, just waiting for you to claim them. The world rewards those who improve themselves. So start improving today and watch how everything else falls into place. Number 10, stop looking for luck. Build yourself into the person who succeeds. Stop looking for luck and start building yourself into the person who succeeds. There's something that happens when people begin to look for luck. They start to feel powerless, as if they're waiting for a random break or an opportunity to fall into their laps. People talk about how they're waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right moment to take action. But let me tell you something. Waiting for luck to come and make things happen is a dangerous mindset. The reality is, luck doesn't just show up at your door, and it doesn't pick favorites. You don't need luck. You need to build yourself into the kind of person who creates opportunities, takes chances, and keeps pushing forward no matter what. The world doesn't owe you anything. Success isn't about waiting for the universe to hand you something. It's about going out and creating it. It's about the work, the effort, and the consistent action you take to improve yourself and your situation. The moment you stop relying on luck and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, that's when things start changing. You'll start attracting opportunities that you never imagined, and success will no longer be something you wait for, but something you create. Too many people think that success is for the lucky ones, the ones who just happen to be in the right place at the right time. But if you look closely at the people who have truly succeeded, you'll notice that luck has very little to do with it. They've worked hard, they've invested in themselves, and they've built the skills, knowledge, and mindset to take advantage of the opportunities that come their way. The truth is, they didn't wait for luck to show up. They went out and made their own luck, and you can do the same. You can't sit around hoping for a breakthrough to fall into your lap. You have to be the one who makes the breakthrough happen. Every success story you hear, whether it's about a business owner, an athlete, or a musician, starts with a person who decided to stop waiting for luck and start building the life they wanted. These are people who were willing to put in the work, even when it wasn't easy. They knew that success didn't come by chance, it came by choice. And that's the mindset you need to adopt. Think about it. If you look at people who have found true success, you'll notice something they all have in common. They don't rely on luck. They create their own luck through action, hard work, and learning. They don't sit back and wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They put in the time, the effort, and the commitment to become the kind of person who attracts success. And because of that, success starts following them, not the other way around. When you start building yourself into the person who succeeds, you stop worrying about things that are out of your control, like timing or external circumstances. You begin to take full responsibility for your own life and your own future. And that's where the power lies. The moment you take ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your growth, you start creating a future that works for you. You start building your own luck through intentional decisions, consistent action, and a mindset that refuses to settle for less than your best. Building yourself into the person who succeeds means making tough choices, facing your fears, and taking risks. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone and learning new things, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. It's not about waiting for the stars to align. It's about aligning yourself with the work, the mindset, and the actions that will bring success to your life. It's about turning your focus inward and asking yourself, what can I do right now to move closer to my goals? Success isn't handed to you, it's earned. And it's earned by the way you show up every single day. It's earned by your willingness to improve, to learn, to push through setbacks, and to stay committed to the vision you have for your life. When you focus on becoming the kind of person who is constantly improving, the world starts to notice, and when the world notices, it rewards you. But remember, this isn't about waiting around for things to change. It's about making those changes yourself. People who rely on luck never get the full picture. They think there's a magic formula that will suddenly make everything fall into place. But the reality is, the magic formula is simple: hard work, persistence, and continuous growth. If you want success, you have to create it. If you want to be lucky, you have to make your own luck by working on yourself every single day. The reason most people don't succeed is because they wait too long to take action. They wait for a perfect moment or for luck to strike, but there's no such thing as a perfect moment, and luck isn't something you can wait for. Luck is a result of the effort you put in. It's the outcome of your persistence and your ability to keep going when others quit. It's the direct result of how much you're willing to invest in yourself and your future. Imagine if you could just let go of the idea of luck. Imagine if you could look at every challenge, every failure, and every setback as an opportunity to grow, rather than a sign that you're not lucky enough. When you stop focusing on luck, you start focusing on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, and your growth. And that's where the real power is. That's where success is built. So stop waiting for luck. Stop looking for the perfect break. Start building yourself into the kind of person who deserves success. Start taking action, start learning, start improving. And when you do that, success won't just come to you, it will find you. You'll become a magnet for opportunities, and everything you've ever wanted will start to come into your life, not by chance, but because you've worked for it. The world rewards those who work hard, who invest in themselves, and who are willing to put in the effort to become the person they need to be to succeed. And when you build yourself into that person, success will be inevitable. If you take anything away from today, let it be this. If you want more in life, you've got to become more. It's not about waiting for things to magically fall into place. It's about putting in the work, becoming the person who can handle what they want, and growing every single day. You've got the power to change your life, and it all starts with the decisions you make right now. Stop waiting for luck, stop hoping for the perfect moment, and start focusing on improving yourself. When you do that, everything else will fall into place. So take what you've learned today and put it into action. Start small if you need to, but start now. Each day you invest in becoming better is a day closer to the life you want. Keep going, keep growing, and remember, if you want more, you have to become more. Thank you for watching. Keep striving, and let's make this journey happen together.